Hi, Joe. I'm be right backing just to grab a few other things, but I'm here. I'm gonna mute. You should mute too.
Okay.
We're already live. Hi, guys. I need to get my headset plugged in, but I have a special guest, so I'm using one hand. No biting. No biting, Sweet Beak. Sweet Beaks. Come here. Come over here. So I can plug in my headset. Ready? Oh, no. It's not going to hurt you. It's just a headset. Burby burbs. Burpy. Let's get our headset going, little burpy. Let's plug it in. Okay? And you're safe. You're safe, birds. Come here. Come on. You want to say hi? You ready to be famous? Say hi. I'm famous. I'm on the internet. I've been talking about being famous. You want a close up? You want a close up? Say I'm famous. I said I was going to be famous on the internet. I told you. I know you did. So do you want to look? This is Inky. This is Inky Bird. And she told me, she said, I'm going to be famous on the computer. So we got to start somewhere, right? Inky Inks, you got to come back down? Okay. You want to come over here and have a snacky? We're going to have to do some cards too. Okay. But we can have a snack. You want a snack? Would you like to have a snack attack? Would you like a Cheerio? Here, I'll pull this down even though it's not flattering for me because I know that you have plans. You have big Holly weird dreams, right? Let's open the Cheerios. And Cheerio. Got it? You gotta hold it with your hand if you're not gonna drop it. Can you hold it with your, gotta hold it with your hand, your footy. It's right there. I know, you're like, how do I get seen? Very easily, because you're so beautiful. You threw some of it already. What are you gonna do? Spaghetti. Being famous is not easy, is it? See? You already see. Being famous is hard work. Inky. She's a green-cheeked conure. And her name is Inky. And really, we've never been confirmed her gender, but the rods and her communications say she's la femme. She's a girly. Let's see what's going on the thing. Okay, let's see here. Hi, Miss Claudia. Miss Amanda. Miss Wolfie. Good to see you. Okay. I had a cat bite that got infected. Yeah, that sucks. And then they're talking about a birdie because she's famous already. You told me you wanted it. I hope now that you know what it's like, you're comfortable with it. Are you comfy? Are you comfy? Amanda, how is the kitty? I mean, we know why the kitty was probably bitey, because it's gone through a lot recently. How is the kitty doing? Beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. Cheerios. She's doing okay. I mean, I'm so glad. That day, it seemed like they were gonna, I thought probably she might be coming home that day, but I thought that there would be ongoing issues that might be, a lot to handle. I'm glad I was wrong. Oh, that's tough. I hope they gave her good kitty cat meds, don't you, Burby? So I hope that kitty got good medicine so that she didn't hurt all the time. my sister-in-law's cat, Jinxie. Um, and he lived several more years after the incident, right? But he went like sort of on Thanksgiving weekend one year. He was an indoor outdoor, but he sort of disappeared in a way that he didn't normally disappear, and she knew something was strange. And he'd been hit by a car. She found him. Thank goodness, someone, they're not sure if it's the person that hit him, but someone um, saw it and took him immediately in for care. And it was pretty bad. And you know, he was low for, I don't know, it feels like he started to sort of come out of the worst of it in 4 or 5 months. But that, that was hard. And so I was worried about your kitty having to do like the same. Yeah, they are. I mean, that's the other thing is, sometimes if um there are options, but it might be painful for the cat, or it's just hard to figure out what they would want, and then it's a huge strain on the humans too, both emotionally and financially. It's always so tough, right? Right. They did a GoFundMe. Did people help on the GoFundMe? I mean, listen, I know you're TikTok famous. You could put their GoFundMe up and have 10, 11, 12,000 people see it that day. I don't have that many people anywhere, but I would post their link if you need it. I'm sure everyone here would share it too. So this birdie sings when I leave the room, but it's more like a come back here, where did you go, mom, singing. And probably around 5 months old. And so there's definitely singing and bird noises and chirping sometimes. And then, there's some of that. The conures, when they do speak, the ones that decide to speak are the ones that sound like sort of like their voice box is, vibrating, and it's this low sort of mumbly, like they sound like they're sort of grumbling under their under their voice when they talk. And so she started to babble like that, after she'd been here just like a week or so. She started to babble, and I think honestly mock me a little bit sometimes, which is funny. And she repeats noises, right? So I give her kisses and make them loud, and she gives me kisses back, that kind of thing. But she's only been here, I think it's not even 2 weeks still. A little. And it's probably ongoing. So yeah, just you want to throw it up here, like, provided nothing traumatic comes out, for people. I post these, and then not many people watch them, but like 40 do, and that's, all you need is a few people with kind hearts, or that have the ability to help, especially when it comes to animals or our family members. Itchy beakies, it's cheeky beaks, cheeky beaks. You want another Cheerio? Hold on. Cheerio. There you go. Yummy. I don't have it. You threw it again. Hold on. You ready? Yeah, they said where she was before, they said she, wasn't friendly to anyone, this bird. And when I met her, she spoke to me psychically, like right away. And so it's just, true that they know who they are coming for. They know so much more than we do. Thank you for posting it. And then I'll try and copy it in like the box too, so that the link works. We probably overlapped. I probably answered because there's lag. So probably I answered that question like when you asked it, and there was lag, but she's been here less than 2 weeks. And we're friends. I'm her mama. She and Joe are friends. Okay, do you want to do a close up and say, please donate to the GoFundMe to help this kitty? I'm trying to remember the kitty's name. What's the kitty's name? She's a calico. Is it Callie? She's a calico. Probably not Callie. Ready? Say, please, will you please take a look at that GoFundMe and give $1 to help the kitty cat? Please help the kitty cat. Millie. I was close. Callie. Millie. Please help the kitty cat. Will you please? Someone please help the kitty. Donate so her family can help and love her, right? Yes. You're probably the best salesman here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to have to figure out how to do readings here in a minute, sister. We need our hands. You want a grapey first? Take a little grape break. You want a green grape? Hold on here. Mmm. Not poison. You can have some. Who has a bird? Two? Named Cisco? Yay! Squirrels are the best. I had some baby squirrels that fell out of the tree, and once they were like family, it was crazy how smart and responsive. And anytime I say that kind of stuff, I feel like I'm down talking my doggies and kitties, which I'm not. I love them so much, but I will say the squirrels really thought about a lot of things. Bridget. Cisco. But yeah, squirrels are some of the best friends to have, and chipmunks. Bridget has a birdie named Cosmo. Cisco. I said it wrong. Cisco. And your name, Inky, 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 Stinky, 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 Stinky. You can have a few more bites of grapes. Do you know what your questions are, Amanda? Buddy, that's a cute one. You have white squirrels. We have a couple of white squirrels. Here, like in my, what I mean by like in my neighborhood, in my backyard, in my general area. And then you could so the white squirrel, I don't know, the whole like completely white, ghosty colored white was an anomaly, right? Like albino. And started seeing them like 5 years ago or something. And then every time there's like a new batch of squirrels, because it's been squirrel time spring when the babies are born. They're really born twice a year, but every time there are new babies born, you can tell who is a descendant of that white squirrel, because they're not all white, but they'll have an all white tail and one white ear, or they'll have all white legs and everything else looks like normal. It's interesting. Come and climber screen. Okay, what is it? That'll help me pick a deck and that kind of stuff. Or help them, tell me what deck, that kind of thingy. don't know. There's so many fun, spooky things to name an all-white squirrel because it's like the Casper, the friendly squirrel, right? So any famous ghost. Oh, bless you, Joe. Yeah, we can find out. What else did she say? You texted me that, and at the time, you're gonna go over there. Okay. Do you need to go over the towel for a second, sister? I don't want to embarrass you, so I'll put you AFK if you're going to do necessary things. Mm. Another bite of grapey. Yum. I don't know that there is one from in my life anyway. They are very like there's this one and the same. Squirrels chew their nuts off competitors. That's terrifying. So I know you said she played with the ghost dogs. Now, did she say that like when she came in? Was it day or night? Um, and then I was curious. Do you think she heard us when we were talking about the dogs that go around the fence line? Like, have you talked about that with um, and we're going to ask specific questions here in a second, but I just was curious like if she'd overheard our conversations about the ghost dog that is in the backyard that walks along the fence line. It was night. Okay, that makes some sense because that helps, especially when you're first new to seeing, you can see spirits much easier at night because of the way they light up. Do you want a bite of this grapey? Are you doing something weird? What are you doing? Hmm? Burby, you want to help me pick a deck? Here, I'll put your grape right there for a second. We're going to do deck and we're going to do rods. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Let's get the rods out by the stuff. Don't be scared of the bag. It's not for birds. We're just taking rods out of a plastic bag. It's not a bird catching bag. It's a storage bag. Let's put the selenite over by the rods for right now, okay? Let them rest. And should we pick a deck? Let's say, please let my archangels come, and let Bethany's and Amanda's archangels come to help make the messages clearer and help us figure it out. Please come and help us, and thank you so much for your guidance all the time. Please help us pick the right deck and ask the right questions, right? Please and thank you. Please help us, and thank you for your help, guardians. You step on this hand so I can, yeah, thank you. Thank you, honey. Here, where's your millet so that you can have millet while I get a deck, honey bun. It's a millet. Nope, I wasn't offering my arm at the moment. I need my hand for just a second. I have a feeling it's going to be this deck, but I just want to make sure there's nothing else for this particular question, this Bethany question guides, what is the best deck? Okay, so this is one of them. A good card tarot, and then probably the Kitten Shops deck if I had to guess. I'm not sure if she will stay on my shoulder. Well, she was sent here to help me learn things and to be part of our family. She knew that from the get-go. You want some millet? Do you think you'd go on my shoulder? Yes. You want to come up here? Would you come up here on my shoulder? Say, hell no. Not right now, thank you so much. You're wearing that weird shit on your ears. Okay, I understand. Respectfully, I understand. You need to let me shuffle, though, so how do you want to do it? How shall we do it? We need to find out about Bethany and Dougie's. Here. Let's get down on the towel-y. Let's get on the towel. Okay, well, I think this sound is gonna freak you out. Right? And I know it's out of cage time, so I'm not thinking of putting you up, but we need to figure it out, okay? You step here. You gotta let go of my hand, girlfriend. Come on the towel. On the towel. You're so funny. You're so funny and quick and clever. Do you want to go back to your room? I find it doubtful you want to go back to your room right now. But I want to do this room very much, please. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, Burbs? What? What do you want to do? You want to go to your room? Just for a little bit and then come back out? Why don't we take you to your room so I can shuffle? Here, grab onto my fingers, please. Come on. This hand, baby. Come on. I want you to have choice here, but yes, come on. This hand. You're safe. We got to get up though, and I've blocked myself in with cards. So hold on a second, Burby Burbs. Because we're going to put you in your room just for a little bit, and then you can come back out. I know. You're like, but it's me time. Yes, but it's also other people time too. Other people time too. We've got some shuffling to do, mistress. If you would sit on my shoulder, we could do both. Let's go. You can have some Cheerios in your folio. Hang on. Yeah. You need to get me these Cheerios. They're fresh. Fresh O's. You're going to come back out. Don't go to sleep, okay? Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. No. Get this way. Get this way. Stay right there. I'm going to be back for you, Kirby. Here's your swing. You don't have to go to bed, honey. You don't have to go to bed. Okay. I just need my hand. See, I've got all of your food out still. Got all of your food out. And you're still going to come back out. But I want you to have a snack and stay calm, okay? You can hold that, okay? Ready. Okay. And it ties my hands because I got sticky bird fingers. Okay, thank you, Birdie. Thank you for giving us a minute. Hi, Pix. Okay, let's see here. I love you, Pixie. I've only been up after my seizure stuff later in the nighttime, so I've missed you and Amanda several times. And Amanda and Nook. It's almost like you guys are being practical with your sleep schedules or something. Okay, this one is, we're reading Amanda right now. Actually, we're reading Bethany. We're going to shuffle, ask the archangels, angels, and guides. Those are the of the light and from the light, of heaven and from heaven, to help sort this out, to help imbue the cards with Bethany's energy and information, so we can know a little bit about her and her ghost doggies and the expanse of that. So I just want to shuffle this deck and the other deck you guys picked. For Bethany, they picked the Good Karma Tarot, and then they picked the Kitten Chops deck. I always forget, like, is the Kitten Chops the Inner Child deck? I don't think that's come out yet, and I just think I want it to be. It's the, what do we call this deck, ladies? Playful Heart Tarot. But she's working on the Inner Child deck. Maybe it's out. I don't know. I should check. So this is for Bethany. Bethany questions specifically related to spirits and perception, but of course, just anything that you want to tell us. Is that good? Yeah? Okay, so you want to shuffle the other one? Okay. Same thing, this is for Bethany. The primary question right now is, can we clarify some of the things she said about spirit animals? Yeah, it makes sense to me too. They're saying, Amanda, I'm sorry, sometimes I realize, they're saying it makes sense that as you sort of came to wake up to the fact that you're starting to see and hear like animal spirit via animals a lot more than you thought you could. You probably always have been able to, but you weren't necessarily fully aware of it. It makes sense that on a subconscious level, she would be comfortable mentioning that stuff to you. Although they say maybe once, twice before she's mentioned it to someone. I don't know if it was you or grandma or dad, and they sort of laughed like imaginary, you know. But, you know, things have changed for everyone in terms of perceiving that in that household. So this is for Bethany, please. One. How many more? Two, three more shuffles? Okay. That was one, right? Two. And three. 3 bites to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll bubble. You want to start with this one? This one? Okay. Let me check my phone because I know it's going to blow up and make noise here in just like minutes. Okay, no, we have a few longer than I thought. So, guides, I'm going back up to exactly how she phrased that. Can we find okay, so can we find out about who the ghost dogs are? We're wanting to get you to show us some stuff about Bethany. Oh, that flew out, and who the ghost dogs are, and let us know some of what's going on. Can you show us Bethany in relation to the ghost dogs, or any information specifically about Bethany and ghost dogs? That flew out. Any more? Two? Ooh, flying out today. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to read declare for this one. May need another card. We'll see. I'm trying to remember, when's Dad's birthday? He's a Scorpio? Is he water? I'm trying to remember what he is. Okay. I don't know why he must have something interesting on his chart, because Chris almost always turns up as like a water sign in the cards anyway. Like he's represented that way. So he must have like something about like his rising or his moon or something that are very watery type energy. Still want to understand that one. Okay, so I understand now, like what all this is, but this is guides. I'm trying to understand. This is you're explaining why now, right? Can you show me? So I understand to a certain degree why now. Has it always been going on though? Like has she always been um, seeing them, or is it new? Flipped. Mm, okay. And then can I see like what kinds of interactions she has? What kind of interactions she has with spirit animals? Um, I love when spirit's a smart ass. Okay, it's this one. It's that one. Okay, so there's a lot of cards, but hold on, let's see here. He's an a-hole sometimes. I missed the context for that other than we asked like when his birthday was. I didn't anticipate to be calling him names, but you know, what's up,
That might be a Taurus thing. I don't know.
Joe? Well, I was trying to figure out, and that's definitely Taurus because I was like, maybe it's later or maybe it's still Aries, but I don't. I'm pretty sure. No, it is for sure. Like smack dab in the middle of Taurus. Like my brain was like, I'm not sure where that lands, and then it was like, no, no, no. Yeah, you are. Like just think about him and other people you know similar, and
And my brother's a few days off of his birthday.
Joe's been surrounded by Taurians his entire life. Entire life. Oh, I see what I was doing here. Okay. Okay, I'm pausing just to pop a pill, but then I've got so many cards to show you. So hold on one second. Okay, so for the first go round, I'm going to show you all the cards I got. The Nine of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups. I need to turn the screen light up so you can see the pictures a little better. There we go. The Four of Swords. A lot came out the first go round, and I was like, why do we have so many? But it makes sense. It's just really thorough. The King of Cups. The Four of Pentacles. The Six of Swords, but it was inverted. But this is what it looks like. The Sun. And the World. So those are the ones that fell for like the first like glimpse at what was going on. And this was out of order. Here, hold on. Okay. So so the first thing, what it's basically talking about is okay, so in her life, the way, she was absorbing and viewing like things in the world, okay? First of all, right now she feels like things are really abundant, and I can understand based on how things have changed in your household just since I've known you, and even just how your living circumstances have changed recently, which is not just a product of like having more space, it's a product of the literal expansion that you were able to make in that house is a representation of your relationship with everyone there. There was so much expansion in the relationship. There was so much peace that came unexpectedly, probably. For some of you, it was unexpected. And with a lot of hard work, though. Everyone did hard work. You did a lot of hard work. But I don't think you ever imagined that that kind of expansion could happen in that household. And then when that happened, you literally got physical signs, right? The like like it was like, hey, you're probably permanent here and we're no longer distressed about that. We like it. We're going to make a space so that you feel like you belong, so you feel like you do have your own space, but you don't have to be constantly thinking about running off because we're all far more comfortable with each other and communicating, and everybody there has had enormous amounts of healing, and I mean all of the adults, right? All of the adults, and that's going to trickle down to the kids. and and so, it starts off with her saying like, okay, things feel really abundant right now, between the things that have happened at home and the expansion at home. And even though I know sometimes school has been up and down, and it certainly always is at the beginning, she is getting a lot of experiences, which she's a girl that's always going to crave that. She's craved it from probably before she was born. She came here remembering that it was going to be for the experience. So good or bad, that feels abundant to her, right? Okay, so then the Ace of Cups talks about, in this case, in this answer, if you look at them all, it talks about the interconnection of um, everybody, in her case, like that's important to her. Now, then, because kids, once they find one little thread, they can follow it. Like we get confused by the details and the patterns of the thread, or the things around, or the fact that the thread got loose or whatever. They're not dumb like we are. They find one little thread, like, hey, look at how everybody in my family is connecting right now, and then they follow with that thread and understand that that expands into the whole of the universe. So this was about feeling like, this is about the time, in time when at home things were sort of stagnant, like nothing, like there's nothing like super traumatic here, but it talks about stagnant. Everybody was living just to live. There, people weren't pursuing joys. Um, People weren't necessarily getting along. But there was just like sort of a lot of stifled silence because people weren't really directly fighting too much. So it just felt like a forever waiting room, like being wanting to fly and being grounded. And then all of the grown-ups around her started to expand, all of them. That's a huge heart expansion. That's a huge third eye expansion, right? Um, that's these two together. This is the practical one moving towards, emotional experiences and understanding wealth doesn't just come like with physical accessories, that wealth can be inner on the inside and stuff. And this is the lesser practical one coming to terms with needing to be a little more practical. Um, this is about sort of leaving some of the anxiety of the past behind. And then the next two cards are self-explanatory. The sun and the world, right? Like if you give a kid a reason to be optimistic, they're going to be optimistic all the time. We all should listen to them, instead of going back in our heads and being like, but there was trauma, which we all do, right? But there was. And they're like, and kids are like, yeah, there was, but right now things are good and I'm going to enjoy that shit. So, so they did all of that to say, she always was having some experiences with like spirit animals and things like that. But because there wasn't much flow bouncing around in her house, um, from too many directions. People were just sort of this is going to be gross, but not meant to be gross, like emotionally clogged or constipated, energetically clogged and constipated. And so, she didn't have a sad, any kind of experience. But there wasn't all this flow. And once there's flow, kids can do anything. They can make magic happen with that. So she always was able to see like certain things like spirit animals, but she like there just wasn't enough flow for there to be too much activity around there very often. And when she saw it, no one else around her was really acknowledging it. And she saw it. I don't think she thought she was crazy or anything. She just thought, oh, well, it's not very exciting. Okay. So then I said, why now though? Why now? I see that like everything, you know, the flow is open, and so she's able to have more experiences and follow like the natural flow of everything in life has to offer, right? But why, like, just like very recently would she start talking about it? And it's because she's gone into the world. So this is sort of practicality. This is probably like a teacher at school, right? These are, some of the goings on at school. Sorry, I should name what these are. This is the King of Wands. This is the Eight of Cups, right? And then the Fool, but the Fool was on its head. So why now? The reason is a couple of things. She went and she saw the way other people do things at school. She's seeing the way other people do things. And she realized, oh, okay, first of all, not everybody sees what I see, right? Um, and I the ones that don't, I'm really disinterested in those people. Not that they're bad, good, or whatever. It's just I'm not interested in that. That's she's able to now see more of the world and make choices that she didn't know she even had choices about before, right? So she's seeing some practical things, which is great. She's seeing the way other people function. She's also seeing followers, which she doesn't particularly subscribe to, which is why this is on its head. She, like this type of fun they might be having, sure, she might follow that, but like she doesn't subscribe to being a follower. And so she's already seeing, oh, I have differences. Now, while everybody has differences, I like mine. And I'm already interested in pursuing my differences rather than suppressing them to go along with what's going on at school. And then I asked, what is your experience? What is your experience? Okay, hold on. I need to read one thing about this. I already forgot about the Seven of Swords here. Like, okay. So, my question was, what is her experience, when she is interacting with things like spirit animals? Okay, first of all, it was the Page of Wands, right? So she feels like the belle of the ball. Like the animals make her feel special. And now that she knows not everybody can do that, right? She feels like hot shit. That's just frankly, part of it. But then there was this card, which is the one that kept confusing me for a while, which is about sort of not liking. She sort of felt like she really enjoyed her interactions with animals, but she felt, little kids feel like there's certain things they're supposed to hide, even if there's no reason. They're smart enough to know, like, hey, people don't want me talking about seeing dead things, or whatever. And so this is about, the one of the negative aspects, which as like, okay, so they make her feel like the belle of the ball, but she didn't feel happy hiding it. she didn't feel happy once she became aware that it was different, and she just thought maybe I should be quiet about it, or I haven't talked about it because the house hasn't been much for communication, you know. But she was growing more and more uncomfortable with not mentioning it to you and others likely, but to you especially, you and dad, because she wants to have that kind of flow with you, right? Where she can say everything. And something had always stopped her from talking about it. And so talking about like, careful, don't let your mask slip, you're anxious about people finding out your secret. And she didn't even like needing to feel like it was a secret, right? And so when everything loosened up and she sort of has had a chance to observe, your house is the biggest thing, the changes there, the energetic changes that have happened in the last year. But then school, has made a big difference in observing people, and she's already making decisions internally. Some of it's really on a conscious level, some of it's really on a subconscious level. Like if you asked her, she might not really know how to put words to it, but she really is looking at who she wants to be and who she doesn't want to be, and already figuring that out about people, which is very smart. But that doesn't surprise me about her in particular. And then this is how she feels most of the time. This is the wow, you got it card. Wow, you got it. Like, okay, I feel awesome when I interact with like this, but I feel ashamed that I'm hiding it. So now that she's told you, this is how she feels. Because she doesn't have to hide something that was joyful. Let's see what she said here. Okay. Do you have questions about that? Was there something off about it that we need to clarify so far? Yeah, isn't that sweet? I would feel that way if my kid turned up as feeling like that once he was able to tell me all the things he wanted to tell me. I would melt into it butter. It's accurate. Okay, so I'm going to get the rods to just confirm some of that to make sure. It's a good way for me to practice rods, and it's a good way for me to verify my reads and stuff, and for you to get clarity and stuff. So we ask for the archangels to watch over and protect us for all of these interactions, mine and those of the ones that are getting readings. Please protect us and surround us with love and light. I only wish to engage with those that are of heaven and from heaven, of the light and from the light. Thank you so much for your ongoing help and support. I'd like to talk to archangels, preferably at this time. Okay, we got somebody. Um, Hi, how are you? Okay. Um, Thank you for coming. Is someone holding up the other end of the rods right now, correct? Yes. Okay. And this is celestial energy, correct? Yeah. And you're one of my archangels, but you don't operate the rods as much, right? One of my archangels. I should ask the question separately. Do you operate the rods as much as some of the others? I didn't think so. Okay. So, is this someone from Archangel Michael's camp? Yes. Okay, cool. Hi. Hi, 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 hi. Can we ask just a few questions about Bethany's reading? Yes. Okay. Were the cards interpreted correctly that she's always been able to see animals in spirit for the most part? Not every animal, of course, in the whole free world, but she's throughout her life been able to see animals in spirit. Is that correct? Yes. Was the aspect of how their house has started to flow and hum with collaborative energy in the last year or so. Is that also accurate? Yes. Oh, and they say congratulations on that. That's a battle well fought and well won, and very peacefully fought too, they're saying. So they're proud of everyone there. Correct? Yeah. They're proud of everyone there for being able to accomplish that type of peace and harmony and collaboration. And it's going to pass on to the kids in enormous ways, isn't it? Yes. Even teens to a certain degree, correct? Yeah, that's what I thought. Has Bethany had a completely easy go in kindergarten? No. Okay, we expected to see that. Okay. Was the reading accurate when it said she's not very interested in the people that follow others to be cool? That does not surprise me, just knowing her, what little I've known about her over the year and a half or whatever. So the animal experiences, are they ever scary for her? No, I didn't figure. And does she feel like everyone in her house is much more open-minded to hear her happenings now? Yes. Even did I hear somebody just say even grandpa? Yeah. I don't know why people thought he'd be the last one. What about grandma? Okay. What about teenage girl? Okay. What about teenage boy? Yeah, I thought he was excluded. Will he eventually get positively affected by all of that? Yeah, that's good. Um, and then, okay, let's see. So at school, this is a little sidetrack. Does she have a couple of people that, like other people, meaning kids in her grade, that she genuinely is comfortable around? Yes. And is that a mutual experience? Does she have friends that feel mutually? Yeah, okay, that's great. Is she befriending or falling in friend love with anybody that doesn't return her affection? No, she's got much better sense than I ever did. Yes, you guys are actually going to answer that. Yes. Um, okay. Anything else on this particular topic, Manda? Oh, I have one while I'm waiting for the lag to subside. Does Bethany see human spirits very often? No. Has she ever seen human spirits? Yes. Was it something that was so vivid it was frightening to her at the time? No. Okay. Um, is it something that she's going to be doing more and more, so we need to be on a lookout for it? No. Okay. Okay. Well, so thank you so much, you guys, for answering about on this topic anyway. Is there anything else you think we should be asking or saying on this topic? No. Okay. This is still somebody from St. Michael's Camp. Yes. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate your love and affection for everyone. Thank you for your help. Thank you. Okay, we'll put this back here. Thank you so much. Did you have another question, Ladybug? Because you were owed a few. I know that the pet question was the first one you asked the other day. I don't know why I feel like you have a relationship question, just like I feel like Pixie does, but feelings aren't facts. You're talking about you're talking about the giant nutcracker, right? Okay, that's it. Okay. Obsessed is really strong. Um, I almost want to get out the relationship deck. I'm trying to get confirmation because I sort of think that's funny, a little bit cheeky, but I also want to know if I got their permission to do that. Can we use this relationship deck for Bethany and her toy soldier? Should we use it? Should we? Okay, I'm hearing conflicting things. Should we use? Would it be funny to use it? Would it be useful to use it? Should I use it right now? No, fine. Never any fun. Good karma? Okay. That's why you wanted the good karma out. Gotcha. I'm already hearing something about it has something to do with the time that entered her life. Like whatever, I mean, it looks like a Christmas thing decoration to me, right? So to me, it looks like um, when you guys brought it into the house is going to be hugely significant in terms of why she bonded to it the same way she has. So I'm assuming you brought it into the house at Christmas time. Should I shuffle? No. Can I just go from here? Okay. So we want to ask questions about Bethany and her giant nutcracker friend and why she is, pretty fixated on her relationship with that. I already heard you guys talking about timing and that the when when they showed up was really significant. Yep. Okay. Okay. At least 4 more. Okay. Ooh, okay. We're just tossing them out. Thank you. Holy schmoly. 2 more? Okay. That's not 2, though. Okay. This way? 1 more? 2 more? No more? Okay, we'll start here then. Okay. I want to look at this book. Reading Rainbow. Let's see here. I know what that means. What about this guy? Okay, so I see that. So can you show me what was going on? Can we use the cards? Yeah, okay, that's the question you want me to ask. Show me what it looked like before. This is what it looked like when the soldier came in the house. What did it look like to her before the soldier came in the house? Okay, Amanda. Um, I know what I'm looking at. Right, like right before that holiday season, had is that when you had a lot of trauma happen? Right before that holiday season? I'm trying to figure out the nicest way to ask that question. Um, or were you having big health problems? Um, like is that when there was thyroid issues? I know there's a lag, so you think? I mean, I know, like, I don't want you to, like, have to list it, but, like, was this leading up to this holiday that holiday season where you got that decoration, had that been a really big year in terms of trauma and health? I mean, it's reflecting that, um, that basically the story it says, sort of is, well, um, mama was sort of detached a little bit, and dad was working all the time, right? And but mom was really strong, and there started to be change, but then something big happened. So basically, it's like, okay, she was detached, he was working all the time, and but her strength turned up. You being her strength turned up, and there started to be forward motion, and then something happened where that people were not necessarily expecting. It was like, oh, we're moving forward. I fought and I'm moving forward, and then something happened where there was a big crash, and it is in and around mom, and then it started limiting a lot of the choices people had to make. Is this something we should talk about privately? But if you know what happens then, right? If you can pinpoint it, that's all that really matters in this particular moment. Okay. And so then whatever happened, leading up to that made it feel like then something big bad happened to mom, and then we were really limited on choices and stuff, right? But then this holiday season felt like pretty good, just I think likely it is. Let me see. Can you show me how the adults really felt? I'm seeing how she experienced that holiday season, which is great. Is that how everyone felt, or can you show me how the adults felt that holiday season? Okay, okay. So, yeah. Okay. Um, so from her perspective, right, stuff it should have been hard, and then right around that holiday season, like to her felt like family perfection. This is the 10 of coins, right? This is like unity and perfection, everybody being together. And temperance card is there, right? Which means, this is a peaceful time, which is great as well. You know, she felt like there was a protector, it just was all it felt like really good. That holiday season felt really good because some of the time leading up to it felt tense and scary. And she was young enough that she probably didn't really she didn't understand probably a lot of what was literally happening, but she did feel tension and fear and distress, right? And so, excuse me, sorry. Um, and so, because because of that, that's why she attached to this person, um this soldier, because um he is the most human like thing, like of the toys that came that holiday season or whatever. He's the most human looking thing that she can credit with some of the change, right? Because we're not rational even as adults, but as kids especially, like she just knows things got better and it happened when he turned up. So she put all of her positive amazing feelings about how comforted and joyful and peaceful and well loved and how connected to her family she felt that holiday season, and she gave credit to this guy. This guy. um and it does look like, even when I asked how were the parents really feeling at that time, right? At the holidays, it was, and the parents were feeling like, um pretty good. Like but there had been like a lot of, it felt like actually there had been a little bit of support. It looks like, basically, it looks like I can see one particular topic, right? That was a hot button topic. That's an adult topic, but that then there does seem to be like there was some positive feminine energy that surrounded the situation, at least for a brief period of time, and made people feel like comforted and stabilized, and that um, you know there was a romantic aspect too that sort of changed the perspective for people. Um, Now let's see. So let's ask. Okay, actually, I should just show you. Let me show you really quick before I put these, re-emerge these, right? Okay. So the first part of the reading, right? This is Four of Cups. This is disconnected mom in this particular case. This is workaholic dad in this particular case. This is, oh, there's some strength. There's some change. There's some forward moving. We're pushing through this. There's some forward motion, right? And then it's like bam, something just came, as there was change transpiring, and then it hit mom because the Empress is mom. So it hit mom worse than it hurt other people, and it then made all of the options seemed really limited in this time frame leading up to the holiday season, like the whole year before, right? Then the holidays felt like this to her: complete family unity and the 10 of coins, cultivated peace and balance in the temperance card, complete protection in this King of Swords energy here, a safe way to explore new concepts, and a little bit of like movement and fresh air and freedom, metaphorically speaking, right? And that things that felt like they were like on fire before were no longer like, at that intensity level that they had felt like they were, to her. And then when I asked how the parents were, right, like, leading up, like during that holiday season that she experienced as so positive, it was pretty positive. The parents felt like, or the grown-ups, not just the parents. the grown-ups that were in that situation felt like, hey, we did cultivate something good. Like they were able to take a breath, and be like, yeah, yeah, we're doing pretty okay. We're doing pretty okay. Um, right. And then there was some community around enough that it felt like there was at least some understanding, if not even support. This, however, this is one of the issues that required support. Let's just leave it at that. But, there was supportive energy around, um, for the grown-ups as well. But they, like, people were able to, during this holiday season, put it down, put some of the seriousness down too, and just have a sense of play and compassionate love and all this kind of stuff. I'm gonna ask, like, how, um, like, if they would show us why, um, she continues to hold tight to, what is this guy's name? He has a name, right? Think about, we just forget because we have adult trauma that comes into, but think about how much you really did think as a kid. Sometimes we sort of have the reasoning off because we lack information, right? So um we know something's way off and we only know a few facts about things, so we formulate the wrong picture in our head as little kids sometimes, especially if we're kept out of the loop or if people think we're too young. But we think a lot. I know how much I thought when I was little. David. Okay. Is there anyone in your real life that had David as a middle name? I feel like maybe somebody did have David as a middle name. Okay. So the question here, guides, is at the time, or not at the time, I'm sorry. The question is now, in the years since, can we see why, or her reasoning behind holding on to David? Can we see Bethany's, like, reasoning or emotional feelings in terms of why she holds on to David so tightly, like in the years since then? And then I will ask, just to clarify, what she feels now. So right now I just would like to see the years since then. Why has she, for what is her reasoning or her feeling about keeping David so close? Is this good? No. One more time? Okay. Okay. Yes, okay. So this is about, in the years since she first, uh, got engaged to David. Can you show her, like, the reasoning or feelings behind her connection that she maintains? Drop in. I'm not sure if these flipped or not, folks, so I'm gonna put them back in, and I know you'll make them come out if they need to come out. All these? No. This one? No. Okay, it's dropsies. That wasn't. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so it's all over the family. That makes sense. Sorry about the crunch. Okay, so let's see, what do we say? Okay, last. So in the past, it's interesting. Has she ever talked about wanting siblings? Because basically, it's sort of saying anytime she was in discord with someone, like in a fight, she felt like, or an argument, or if there were people in fights and arguments around her, and this is the chariot inverted, so that means, and she felt like she was trapped there in that situation, whether it was her argument that she was having, just with a parent like kids do, or if there was fighting around her, she felt like she couldn't, she could not get out of there, and she felt like at the end of the day everyone had a partner but her, right? There's everybody, and there she is wishing she had a special someone. And she's of course a real little kid, she's not like hypersexual or anything like that, this is not showing warnings of trauma or anything. um it's just anytime things boiled over, um she, you know first of all, wanted, um she wanted her own, a person for her too, another kid her age, a special someone, and there wasn't one, in terms of her age group. I mean, she has lots of special someones, right? And so yeah, anytime Yeah, basically, I mean, you get it, right? Then there's the judgment card and the devil card. It's just about like, hey, I cannot, as a child, I cannot change things the way I would like to change them. And even when I see the grown-ups have conflict and then resolve it, at the end of that conflict, I see them then come back together with their special someone, with their teammate. And so if there was fighting, there always she did see that at the end of fighting they came back together and they were a unit. And so she was like, well, where's my partner? Where's my partner? And so if stuff got ugly around her, or if she was like, I mean, it's true, like it's too also, if she did a toddlery thing or a kid thing and was stubborn about it and was fighting with you, or whomever was saying, knock it off, kiddo, you're misbehaving, she wanted to have someone where she could go and say, like a lot of little kids, I hate mom right now, um and so she made David that. I'm surprised. Has she ever asked for siblings? Another baby. Okay. You answered it as I was asking it. And so now the last question I'm going to ask. Did you guys say other deck? Okay. Other. They want me to move back to the other deck. This one? Big ones too. Okay. Just pull how many? One big one at the end. Okay. So then now the question is nowadays. That was, in the years since. Nowadays, how does Bethany think of David this in this day and age? How does she perceive David? How does she perceive her relationship with David or the uses for David? Stop. Okay. Itchy. Did this one fall inverted? Like, is it supposed to be down? It's like this, right? So, yeah. Okay. Okay. This is interesting. When she's with David, she feels free. This is you are free card. She can be completely herself. He knows all of her secrets, and he's never said a single bad thing to her about the things she's done. She feels that 10 of cups, happy family energy still like in within him. Um there's no question. So this is the hanged one, right? But it was inverted. So, the hanged person is generally usually having a hard time deciding or fence riding, right? She has no question in her mind about, is this normal, or should I do this even if it's weird? She doesn't care. Um this is the let it go, say goodbye card, but it was on its head, so it's like we will never be apart. Express your joy. This is shown up for her a lot in her readings, where she feels like the bomb, as us old ladies would say. She feels like the bomb diggity, um, when she's with David. This is the one. Can I get some clarification for this one? Oh, fast. Okay. Okay. So yeah, she just feels like, um she just feels like this David is with her, um no matter what. Like, he is not a fair weather friend, right? And so, um she's devoted to him because he is devoted to her, and she views him as, you know, the best friend, the twin, the sibling she hasn't had, or wants to have around. Um, and also it really is very like, like a lot of us would be. Um, he doesn't ever disagree with her either. He doesn't ever disagree with her because he can't. Um, and so, she just all of her he's her yes man, her equivalent of like a blankie, little kids that keep their blankie or a stuffed animal, or there are people that freaking take a corner off of that blanket and have it under their pillow at college. And so this is that version. Now it's going to be tricky to figure out how to incorporate him moving forward so that she feels like she has that, you know, um, connection, but doesn't have to drag around something, big and bulky forever. Um, you guys want me to ask that question? Just for clarification's sake, can you show us, is there any like spirit energy that's like not attached? I'm not talking anything weird like possession of dolls or anything like that. I'm saying, is there been someone in non-physical that has like been around David and so he carries their energy, or is there someone in non-physical that has blessed David for her, or is there any kind of spirit or energy um, connected to the David doll where they've like used that somehow to communicate to her or anything like that? Wow, 3 major arcana. Okay, that's good. They wanted me to ask, and I didn't want to know, and I don't think you wanted to know, but I think there's probably somebody that's like, oh my gosh, is there spirit energy um, attached to David? And the answer is no, no. Um, it's the naivety and innocence of youth that has allowed her to connect him with the opposite of any kind of trauma. And it is sort of interesting. He's sort of part of her faith system in the sense that, like, if all hope is lost, you know how some people are like, if all hope is lost, I'm going to hit my knees and pray, right? She's like, if all hope is lost, there's David. And then they wanted me to pull one of these. They're harder to shuffle, so we'll try and do it like this. This is about Bethany and David still, guys. Stuck it. Okay, okay. Let's see who that is. The star. And these are the ones where some other makeup, mock-ups of the star and the opposition of the star, like she did at the bottom. So there's glass half empty, glass half full. Optimism versus pessimism is a contemplation here. You know, is one of the major things. Being optimistic and he gives her hope. I'm going to ask one or two things with the rods, but I want to look at the picture you sent me. And we ever wish to speak with those that are of the light and from the light of heaven and from heaven, please, and thank you. Thank you so much for all of your help and love and support. Can we ask if you actually this is different. Is this Archangel Gabriel? Yes. One of the groups. Hi and thank you. Do you want me to move the selenite? Is it? Yes. Okay. Hold on. You already know. Is that better? Thank you. Okay. Do you know when I say God, I mean Allah, Source, Buddha, anybody, right? That is that pure love, Source energy. Do you love God? Do you respect God? Thank you. So we need to ask about David, the giant toy soldier. Is that okay? Okay. The reading. Did I get the majority of the answers there accurate? Okay. Is it true that David came as a decoration and joined the family following a time of stress that was noticeable to Bethany? Okay. That time of stress, did it have something to do with things that were going on with her parents? Yes. Okay. Did it have anything to do with also like extended family that she lives with? Yes. Okay. Was this on the heels of an ailment for someone really close to her? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna ask a question silently in my head. Okay. Yes. Okay. 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 So, David now is like a comforting blankie. Yes. Does she view David in any kind of childlike romantic way? No. Does she view David as like a best friend? Yes. Does she view David as the same age as she is? No. Does she view David as a child? Yes. Um, mm, is she at some point, is there going to be a way to help her at least release some of her connection to David? Yes. Is that something that anyone needs to worry about doing something like that in the next 6 months? No. What about, would they need to worry about separating her from David or think about it in the next year? Yes. Or I'm going to think of a way and you tell me if it would be a good way. And then okay. Amanda, do you have a couple questions? I just asked, like, just some of the things I know have happened in your life. I asked if they were some of the things that affected the energy at the time. That's what that silence was, just so I didn't have to say any of it out loud. But do you have any questions about? Okay, I know I usually do overkill, so at this moment, do they need to change anything about where David is allowed to be or stay or hang out? No. Do they need to worry about making sure that the teen boy can't get a hold of him? What about the teen girl? I only asked that because you showed me, and you did show me, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. We love you and respect you, and we're so grateful for your assistance always. So, okay, so I just asked that last question at the last minute because they showed me like the teen boy sort of messing with it, mostly because he's just unhappy and trying to mess with others' happiness. So just like David should always be, since he's important right now. Like I'm sure you already know that, but like if he's out in the yard at night, he needs to come into the room with y'all. He just needs to not be left around. Which I can't imagine her allowing for that anyway. Did you have any other questions, my dear? Because I've owed you this reading for a while, and I wanted to get it before our good. I'm glad he stays in your room. You're very progressive parents to let your daughter's boyfriend sleep over. I'm joking. So yeah, outside of that, yeah, of course I did. It's cute. It's cute. That's at your current place of residence, even still, right? Sorry about the grapes. I keep forgetting. So it's adorable. She's adorable. It's like if you put it in a photo album, it would be like, little did Bethany know, but this was the day she met her soulmate, or whatever. You put that in a scrapbook. Plus, you have to keep him around so that when whomever she dates first, whatever type of partner she has, you can be like, do you want to meet the competition? Oh, they're saying if there ever came a time, okay, so they're saying if there ever came a time when, David needed, she and David needed space for some reason, or something happened that couldn't salvage David, um, that you should um, put a picture of him or even them together, like on a T-shirt, um, for her to have, or a pillowcase for her to have. And so just hold on to those pictures so that if in the future anything did happen, whether it was some sort of storm or literally like she's starting to outgrow him and she wants to move away from that, but she's having trouble, they're saying, don't lose those pictures of them together so that you can make something personal. Is it Swiffer she sees? Okay. Only I'm wishing to speak with archangels, celestial energy, things of that nature, things that are of love and light, entities, energies that are of love and light. Do I have, okay, you're sort of loading, pointing at somebody. Do I have someone helping me operate the rods? Yes. Okay. Okay. Do you love and respect God? Try again. You who are helping with the rods, do you love and respect God? Is this a different person than was there a second ago? No. I'm sorry. Was I pointing it too much at the computer and that's what you were? Okay. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Bethany has seen spirit animals, correct? Yes. Okay. Is it Swiffer that well, I should ask, does she see the spirit of Swiffer? Yes. Okay. Um, but is Swiffer the only spirit animal she sees? No. Now I know we talked about sometimes she sees some that are just random and she doesn't see all the time. Are there animals in spirit that she sees all the time? Yes. Are they primarily animals that have lived at her same residence, so they're family members? Yes. Okay. Do they look the same enough that she knows who they are? Yes. Okay. And then just about frequency. I of course know from firsthand, right? It's often easier to see these things, when there's not a lot of activity or noise and stuff around you. Um, but everyone's different. Is she like in the middle of kindergarten and seeing a spirit animal, while she's learning her ABCs or something like that? No. Thank you. I acknowledge your no. So, does she see spirit animals, like if they're out driving around in the car? Does she look out the window and see them hanging around. Yeah. Thank you for your answers. Amanda, were you thinking something else? Like just sort of like when I was talking, were you thinking like just even if it was like sort of a similar question but slightly different because it was trying to answer something that I didn't say. So I'd like to know if you had some thought. Were you wondering about your animal abilities as well? When Bethany talks about missing Swiffer, is that because she's very recently seen Swiffer with her eyes? No. Okay. Um, kids are pretty literal. So when she says, I miss Swiffer, is it because at that moment, not only does she have not have him in physical or have Swiffer in physical, but also she's not currently seeing Swiffer as a presence, correct? Okay. So with her, it's literal. So then after, okay, that's another good question. So if then Bethany says something like, I miss Swiffer, um, is she likely then to like see Swiffer or run into Swiffer in the backyard within an hour or two of that? Yes. Does it happen much faster than that? Does she say I miss Swiffer and then he turns? I don't know. I don't even remember if Swiffer was a girl or a boy. I don't think it was a boy. I'm getting it wrong, but Swiffer, the dog Swiffer. Um, so the dog turns up a few often. I asked a few hours, but sometimes when she says I miss Swiffer, does Swiffer immediately then come around if they aren't already around? No. Okay. Um, is Swiffer almost always around? Yes. Okay. So did you mean because I asked the question in a bad way? Did you say no because it's not like Swiffer comes and goes. Swiffer spends most of their time at the house. Is that correct? Yeah. But she sees him at specific times when her skill sets kick in, correct? Can she sort of summon him, meaning if he's already there, I understand you said that, but um, if she sort of says, I miss Swiffer, or she asks for Swiffer, um, does she have the ability to then, like, sort of say, hey, I want to see him, and then she sees him? No, not yet. Will she ever be able to maybe get a handle on controlling that? If she's interested in doing so, yes. Okay. So it's actually when she feels like he's not there, right? Like and maybe he's not, like maybe you guys are kicking it on the couch watching something and he's somewhere on the property doing fun spirit dog things. So uh it's when she doesn't see him. When she says that, guides, um when she says I miss Swiffer, is that also because, like, does she say that just at random? No. Does she say that when it's been a few days since she has encountered Swiffer with her eyeballs? Okay, so she really literally is missing Swiffer. Okay, yes. And then when she is playing with quote unquote ghost dogs, does she always know that one of them is Swiffer? No. Does Swiffer look a little bit different sometimes? Okay. So are there times that Swiffer turns up looking exactly like they always looked? Yes. And then are there times where Swiffer turns up looking sort of how Swiffer wished they had looked? Okay, my animals do that. That's why I asked that question. Um, and so when Swiffer gets to sort of experiment with their look, does Bethany always recognize that that's Swiffer? No. But she still knows it's a fun, nice dog that means her no harm, correct? Yes. And so sometimes she plays with Swiffer without knowing it's Swiffer. Okay, good to know. You haven't had anything going on. What do you mean? Like with in terms of seeing? They just said it's because you're healing. Guides. Is it fair to say that Amanda it's it's been a while since Amanda saw a spirit animal? Yes. Now, would that be like I just interpreted it that since she got bit and she's gotten a little sick, the energy that her brain uses to see is going to her healing. Is that correct? Okay. So it's just a matter of it probably is it fair to say that for her like her spotting pets maybe wasn't constant anyway. Yes, okay, but it stopped completely pretty much when she got bit and needed to heal. Is that accurate? Okay. Thank you guys so much. Do you feel like that timetable is sort of accurate? Because I know that the day that you were looking for Kitty, you were maybe I don't know if you were seeing things, but you were definitely tuned in. And um, then a few days after that is when you got bit, right? Okay. Yeah. I only ask those questions not because I'm smart, but because I heard them say, it's because you're healing. Like somebody was in the back row, hanging out in the back row and at your TED Talk and wanted to put in their 2 cents from the peanut gallery. Eunice. Is it Eunice? Something like that. Oh, they're saying just for funsies. They're saying like, like if Bethany has a day where she's like, I'm bored, um, it's raining or she's bored. Say, hey, you know what? I would like to play interview, right? And just ask a few questions about her and David, like. Not because you need them answered necessarily, but because if you like wrote it down and tucked it away somewhere, they're saying she will at some point, probably not when she's a teenager, but at some point, it will be delightful for her to hear how she thought and felt about some of the things she loved early on. Or if if you don't want to, if you're not like somebody that wants to write things down, you definitely have been using camera and filming as a medium for yourself, and for her. So if you just did a little interview where you asked, who's this, and do you remember the first time you met, and what kind of things do you guys do together, and how do you feel about David? And then that way, it works twofold. As she ages, she'll have that. And once she's done being, an embarrassed teen, I don't think she's going to be as bad as a lot of teenagers. She might be wild as hell, but I don't think she's going to be as bad about like being embarrassed. I think she's going to be pretty comfortable with who she is for the most part, which is so awesome. But I do think she could wind up being wild. But anyway, when she exits that phase, it will be something so cool for her to have, and for you to have. And you never know, you also could hear an answer that's useful in the present about her and David. How is your hand? Are you mostly healed? Keep looking at the picture of her and David. Okay, set another alarm. Okay. Oof. Still hurts a little. Shoot at both sides of your finger. And then how did you know? How did you know? Like, did it just, you could tell by the way it looked that it was infected, or was it just, this is just curiosity now, or was it like, just, it looked like a normal bite, but it was just painful and you were having other health issues? Like, how did you know that like it was a doctor visit required thing? Mm, yeah, I'm sure she had, she was fighting her own infections, just because when you need to donate so much of your energy or relocate so much of your energy towards healing, like she was having to do, I'm sure some bacterias and things were even more active in her mouth and chompers than they normally would be. And I'm sure, honestly, the way she was communicating with you the day that uh, she got hurt and was missing a little bit, and I'm sure she feels just absolutely terrible. She feels absolutely terrible about the fact that you got bit. Actually, she's probably like, "Oh man, the one person I would never want to hurt, I just got startled and scared and upset, and now look what I've done." I'm trying to line up so my antenna look like there they are. My antenna. Beep boop. Yeah. Yucky. I'm glad you went to the doctor because I know we have avoiding that in common, where it's like I've got enough chronic stuff. Like why 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 am I going to all these checkups when there's never new answers? Because not because even when the doctors are wonderful, sometimes people have things that are still sort of mysterious and they don't really know what to do. Oh yeah, those tetanus shots, man. I mean, I'm sure they must be extremely, extremely efficient because, they do ache for so long. And, it's also a freaking big needle in comparison to other things. Like, I'm a tattoo person and I've known a lot of way more serious tattoo people than me. And they clearly have no needle phobia, but still tetanus shot scares scares them. Did I already ask what little bit was for Halloween? Wasn't it was it Spider Man related? Okay, I thought it was. I thought I remembered it being spidery. Spider Gwen. There's a girl you're on the internet as much as I am. Crazy K. She does like little acting videos. Um, hold on here. And she really loves. She's an adult. She does a lot of videos, but she really really loves her Spider Gwen or Spider Woman. I'm not sure what she chooses to call it herself, but hold on here. Where are the videos? Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to mute because the other day I found a video for someone and just a little bit of the music played, and YouTube let me know that was not Okay, I sent several. I'm sure your phone blew up, so. But every time I see that girl, I think, oh, it's a slightly grown up. It's a slightly grown up Beth. They have similarities. Yes, is Pixie still here, by the way? I'm sure, like, she was here, but. I almost choked on that. Miss Claudia, I'm sure, like, I'm all over the place, but my yes'm, like my yes, ma'am meant yes. You act like you keep saying that, and like, listen, I'm. It's lovely to be a grateful person, right? And I always appreciate people that can voice, their gratitude and um their soft side of things, right? So thank you for always saying that, but I always feel a little bit like you feel like people shouldn't be kind to you, or like it's should be a rarity. I understand that maybe in your life experience, it has felt like it is a rarity to have kind people, but I really do believe in manifestation and in how like we're communicating all the time, especially with our angels and higher power without saying a word, right? And you know, just changing your thinking a little bit to where you can of course always be grateful and be like, hey, thank you guys for being good friends or whatever, without having the thought of like, thank you because nobody else does it, or thank you because I don't deserve it, or thank you because it's rare. Because even if it is, right, thinking that generates more of that garbage in our energy field. Whereas if it's like, hey, if you just like try really hard, and it's hard like to change our thinking, you know what I mean? Like it's super hard. But you know, when I have been able to in life change my focus just like a tiny bit, it makes so much difference. Just a tiny bit of the messages I send to myself in my own brain, and then therefore into the universe, right? About like, oh, I've got to thank these people for being kind because no one else is, right? Then that like sort of echoes in our psyche and in our energy, and like creates more of what we talk about. So just I just like I'm always worried that you feel like you have to say thank you because it's a rarity. And if it has been in the past a rarity, I totally understand that, and I'm sorry. But I really want you to change the way you view it, and only try really hard to only count in your day the people that are kind, so that you don't generate any more of the hot garbage from the people that you don't deserve. Yeah, I think everyone should always be, do the best they can to be kind. None of us are perfect. And also, kindness looks so different. Like, one person may think they're being kind, and the other person may experience it as like not not that, you know. But ooh, hot peach tea and cherry pie. Ooh, is it cold? Is it cold there yet? It hasn't been really here, considering um, that usually this is the time of year where things actually where we have like a few freezes and things like that. Yeah, I try hard as well, Miss Manda. You know, up until the point where they, use it as a weapon back your direction, or you have tried so hard to say, I don't understand what's going on here. You know, I want to communicate with you that I don't understand, and that I'm trying to be a good person towards you. And again, if after a lot of times of that they're still resistant to it, or there's no change, of course there are times where then it's appropriate to be like, I don't have to be unkind to you, but I don't have to put that energy, um I don't have to spend my energy trying to extend myself a lot for. I'm thinking of one very particular person, right? That in the last, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 months, a handful of us were trying really hard to reach out and offer our perspective on truth of the happenings around the situation and that kind of stuff. And after a certain point, it certainly was appropriate to withdraw that enormous amount of kindness that was trying, we were trying to extend. But again, like you say, that doesn't mean you have to be unkind. It just means, okay, there are certain people that just don't want to receive it. And so I'm going to spend my energy and time on people that, even if they're difficult, are not resistant to getting my love and my generosity of feeling. I don't know what it was here today, but I just know it's not been quite yet what I would expect for this time of year. Let's see. Yeah, right. So right now they say it's 50, and with real feel it's 48. But for this time of year where I live, that's pretty warm. And it is supposed to start raining here like Tuesday. But I still don't see anything like, yeah, see, like a lot of this week we have highs up in like, we have a couple days where the highs are in the 70s, and that's nuts for this time of year. Um, since you said that, in my text, Amanda, I peeked in there. Oh, Claudia, and I appreciate that. Like, that's why I said, like, certainly I'm not saying stop it. Like, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to get that kind of feedback from people, especially when you really want that particular person and people in general to feel kindness and have experiences that are wonderful. And but I'm just saying, please don't feel like, um I need you to gas me up in order for us to be close. I just am not like, I don't function that way. But so in reference to what we're, like you mentioned, Amanda, I very recently, I told Pixie this the other day, very, very recently went and peeked in over there, which I hadn't done in a really long time. And the proprietor of that digital business looks so different about the face that I thought, I wonder what's going on. I mean, I certainly don't, again, I don't wish anybody ill will or harm, but it looks like there's an unwellness that made me wonder if some of the people we thought were telling tales were telling the truth, actually. Not about everything. Like one of the people I think about that, I feel like was telling tales. Of course, they were telling a lot of tales, but it's made me wonder if that particular one was true and we just assumed it was false because they tell other lies. Yeah, okay, so you've seen it too. Do you wait, okay, Claudia, you okay, I understand now. Sorry. I'm juggling juggling topics, so I wasn't sure at first what that was about. I actually think we must have peeked in at the same time because I think I saw a video where they mentioned their other socials as well, and I thought, and like there was a talk about like streaming, and I thought, do you have enough people to stream? Because I don't, for sure. Oh, you know what's going on. Yeah, see, we talked about how I did that yesterday, how you never saw me there because and I said, "Yeah, I was there, but I was either just completely silent or if I was talking, I was in logged into a different account that people don't know." Other than like Amanda and Kat and Pixie would like know, some of my other alter I my alter egos or whatever. I'm trying to remember what made me go. It was something where actually I was watching something else and like something maybe something popped up actually even though I've not subscribed and stuff. Something might have popped up, so I went, okay, yes, my secret identity. Shh, no one should know. Is are we talking about substances? Because I'd wondered, because like when there's chronic illness, right? I thought, oh, I hope the chronic illness is not something that's kicked in really hard. Because no matter what happens, or no matter my opinion about some of the ways anyone in the world, if I have opinions on how anyone in the world treats others or behaves or whatever, I still don't want them to be unwell. I bet you do. Like, I mean, your secret, at least one of your secret identities and one of my secret identities would go in together sometimes. But you probably have more, like all of us, you probably have more. No, I really moved away from that space because I knew it wasn't good for me to be there. So no, I didn't. You're welcome to share that. Just of course, I'm a curiosity cat, but um, of course, if it's something that was shared with you in private by the person directly, don't I'm not asking you to betray secrets, but if it's something just that others are talking about in general, please, yeah, feel free. Mhm. Worse than illnesses, you mean? Or maybe I'm not sure what that. Are you talking about worse than illnesses? Are you talking about what the kid was experiencing? Are you talking about drugs? I bet you do. I don't understand what that means. Like, and posted it? Okay, let me ask this question. Let me ask this question really quick. Is everybody done with readings for the day? Does anybody want to reading picks? Are you still here? Where we could complete. Um, I know that I gave you a reading the other night, and I know that a lot of clarification came out, but I know that I was dozing off way more than I even am right now. Right now, I'm doing it because I need my pain meds, and I get to take them in like 10 minutes. Um, so is anybody else at this moment wanting a reading? If the answer is no, um, we can park this video, and then I can, then we can have have a private stream. But once we go private stream, I'll be done with readings for the time being. I know Manda's good. I know that Pixie's not saying anything. Okay, so I'm killing this, and I'll be sending everybody a private link shortly, like very shortly. Bye. Amanda, thank you for being so patient about your reading. Nook, you're another one that I know we have been totally mismatched in schedule. My seizure activity spikes in the daytime, and then I am sleeping until really late. If I am up in the daytime, I am working. So I know that we're off kilter, but slowly everybody is getting, what they are owed, and so we'll get together for sure. I love you, Amanda. I'm so glad we were able to answer those questions, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad to see it. I'm always glad to see what I see about Bethany, though. Like I'm always so glad to see about her well-being and her personal strength and stuff like that. But anyway, I'll send you a link too because I'm sure you want to. Right, I know that, Claudia. I knew that that was going to be something you said. I think it's too soon, to be honest with you. I can ask the rods, but I think it's a little too soon. Like we talked about yesterday, and we can talk about like planning for it, right? Um, we can talk about planning for it. And but like I said yesterday, starting off with like one question, um, and then only seeking to answer that one, have a conversation with him about that one question is what they're advising. Just once we do stuff. Archangel Gabriel. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Do you love and respect? Okay. Thank you. God. Yes. Okay. So Claudia is here and, eventually wants to talk with Lonnie, who is not at this time allowed to touch these rods. Let me just make that clear. And I'm asking, is today the right day to broach or start any conversation? It's a big no. I sort of felt that way based on how everybody did and what was said by the guides and all that stuff. Um, would it be beneficial for us to have a? Oh, hold on. Of course, the alarm went off. Would it be beneficial for us to make a game plan of like the first or two or three most important topics or questions to cover so that we can work through things in segments so that it doesn't get so overwhelming for everybody? Is it advisable for us to talk first, as a group of people, that about how to approach the conversations moving forward? Okay. And would you guys advise us to choose like a subject matter, or would you think that we should work on it? And I'll ask this question so you can answer it. I understand I just made it complex. Um, do you think it would be better for us to work on it like literally talking about one incident at a time? So, okay, should we at the beginning plan on talking about one incident at a time? Okay, that's what I thought you guys were saying. Um, Early on, like in the first couple of like conversations between them, do you advise us picking like just a generalized topic and then asking questions all about that? I didn't think so. So you guys think we should say like, I want to talk about the day that X, Y, and Z happened? Yes. Or I want to talk about what you said to so and so, or what conversations were had before the family split up. Okay, that kind of thing. Okay, I thought so. Is there any other question I need to ask you about this now, or is this a solid game plan? Is this a solid game plan? Yes. Okay. And is there any question that for the moment I am missing on this topic? No. Okay. Thank you so much. Sending you love, sending everyone love and gratitude. Okay, so love you. I will send everybody a private link here in a minute. That's birdie sounds.